At its peak, Zipcar had 550,000 members in London alone. It operated over 1,000 electric vehicles across the capital and owned the largest shared EV fleet in the country. But by 2024, its UK revenues fell by 11% to £47 million compared to prior year, while its losses exploded by more than 3,000% to £11.7 million. On December 31, 2025, it shut down its UK operations. After more than a decade in the UK market, Zipcar was gone. So why didn't it work? Clearly, car sharing seemed like an obvious winner for a city like London, considering the city's high car ownership costs, dense population, and excellent public transport. As a result, car-sharing companies like Zipcar, Enterprise, and Co-Wheels have spent the last 20 years trying to build that business here. But today, most have retreated, and the ones that remain are fighting for a market that is steadily shrinking. So, what went wrong? The first is the parking problem. Car sharing depends on dedicated parking bays, reserved, enforceable spots that members can reliably find. In London, those bays are controlled by 32 separate borough councils, each with its own priorities. While some support car clubs, many don't. Without guaranteed parking, the car-sharing business model simply isn't sustainable. The second is the cost structure. Running a physical fleet is expensive as a result of a relatively high fixed cost base that does not benefit from economies of scale. For example, costs like insurance, depreciation, maintenance, cleaning, and parking don't compress with scale the way tech products do. And when ride prices rise to cover costs, members defect to Uber. Conversely, when prices are kept low to compete, car-sharing operators bleed cash. The third is the squeeze from indirect competitors. Car clubs in London face two competitors simultaneously, and they lose to both. For spontaneous trips, Uber wins, as it requires no booking window and no fixed return time. For planned journeys, public transport wins as it's much cheaper and faster. Car clubs sit in the gap between those two options and require a strong value proposition to compete sustainably. Still, opportunities in the car-sharing market remain. Enterprise Car Club continues to operate in London and across the UK. Co-Wheels holds ground in Scotland and select English cities. Turo operates a growing peer-to-peer car-sharing platform in London, and there's a credible argument that car clubs could still work if cities coordinated parking policy, mandated EV charging at shared bays, and treated car clubs as infrastructure, but the window of opportunity may be closing. As Uber absorbs the trips that car clubs once targeted and EV ownership costs fall, the addressable market for car sharing may continue to narrow.